Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this live tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about knee pain and specifically the benefits of Pilates for folks that are struggling with knee pain. So if you or somebody that you know has been struggling with knee pain, it might be more of a acute injury, or it might be something that's just kind of a long-term nagging issue, then you're in the right place. Stick around. We're going to dive deep into this topic. So thanks for joining me. My name is Linnea. I am the owner and founder of Limber Arts, Pilates and Personal Training here in Olympia, Washington, and I also offer a lot of virtual services. So, I personally have gone through a lot of my own injuries, a lot of my own surgeries. I tore my ACL in my knee many years ago, and that was a pretty grueling kind of 9 to 12 months of rehab. So I've been there myself, and I know how frustrating knee pain can be. So let's really dive into this topic. So the first thing I want to talk about is why Pilates is a good choice if you struggle with knee pain, okay? And I think one of the best things about Pilates for knee pain is that it's like I have this reformer behind me, right? So this is a Pilates reformer. There's a lot of other Pilates equipment, and it's really designed to give you a full body workout that is low impact, which means it's not as much wear and tear on your joints as, say, standing up and doing squats, or especially even like doing squats with weight or something like that. So oftentimes there's a little bit of maybe like a tug of war, right? That happens where we want to build strength in the lower body, but in our effort to build strength, we can actually exacerbate the pain. And so there's a fine line there. And with Pilates, you get this really beautiful mix of strength training that is also low impact and a little bit easier on the joints, which makes it a really nice place to start in terms of strength training if you're struggling with knee pain, okay? So that is really where I think the sweet spot is for using Pilates to help out with your knee pain. From there, I want to talk about who is, at what point is Pilates the right choice, okay? Because there's a journey for all of us. Some people might be dealing with a really acute injury. Others, it might be just kind of an ongoing issue. And so at what point is it a good idea to try Pilates, okay? And this one is really the main thing I want to say here is that Pilates is not the same as going to your doctor, right? So if you just had an acute injury, if you heard something pop, if you heard something snap, if you had a really high frequency, impact or something like that, then you're going to want to go to your doctor, right? You might want to get some imaging. You might need to see an orthopedic surgeon. These are the things that you would want to do first before doing Pilates. And most of us know that. That's pretty intuitive, but sometimes we can have an injury happen that's maybe not super intense, and then we kind of just live with it. And then we get to this place where we're looking for answers, but we kind of maybe forgot to go to the doctor, right? And get it checked out or get some imaging. So just make sure that you've checked those boxes first. And then, it's always valid to say that, Pilates tends to be an out-of-pocket expense. So it's always a good place to start as well with going to physical therapy, because that tends to be covered by your insurance. So the thing that I always like to say about physical therapy and Pilates and personal training is that I kind of think of Pilates as sort of in between personal training and physical therapy, okay? Because physical therapy is going to have a fairly narrow lens, right? They're not going to be able to work with you ongoing. They're not going to look at the whole rest of your body. It's going to be a fairly isolated view into just looking at your one knee that hurts, right? So that's a really good first place to start, but it also is often not the whole solution. So I would say Pilates is a good, it's kind of the right timing to look to Pilates to help with your knee pain. If you've already gone to the doctor and you've already kind of tried physical therapy, maybe you've gotten some benefit from physical therapy, but you're looking to kind of reach that next level of strength and resiliency. Okay, so from there, let's talk about like the different types and the different variations of Pilates and the different instructors, and how to find a good instructor that's going to specifically be skilled at working with injuries, working with pain, especially working with the lower body and the knees and things like this. So I think, the first thing that I want to say here is that you're probably better off doing either private instruction or small groups, something where you're going to get a little bit more personalized attention and feedback, but also where you're going to get personalized programming. The actual exercises and movements that the instructor is going to be selecting are going to be tailored to you. So that's going to be really different than just taking a really large group fitness class, or like a Pilates online class or something like that, right? Like a pre-recorded YouTube video or something. Okay. Unless, of course, it's specific to knee stuff. But within that, I think it's always a good idea to have somebody that's looking at your unique body and your unique history. And this is where Pilates is a beautiful match for folks struggling with any kind of pain, because we take the whole body and the whole history into account. So maybe when you go to the physical therapist, they're just looking at your knee, but when you come to me, I'm gonna look at maybe that shoulder injury that happened, 10 years prior or something like that. So basically just get to know your instructor, learn about what their specialty is, and really make sure that they have the skills and the experience of working with folks that are in pain, specifically lower body issues. Okay, and then let's also talk a little bit about how long it takes to know if it's working, right? Different things work better for different people. That's natural. But it's interesting because we don't want to be so short-sighted that we don't give something the time that it deserves in order to see a result. And so I want to touch on this because I do see a lot of people be just really impatient in their healing process. And it can be a little bit like a form of self-sabotage, because you have all the right intentions at the beginning, you put in a lot of work at the kind of upfront, and then sometimes you kind of end up, we all do this, right? Falling off the bandwagon before we've really given it the time and energy that is required. So that's, again, going to be different for everybody. But I would say 3 months is a really great baseline, right? Anything that you're wanting to undertake, because there's a certain initiation process where you're just getting in the habit, getting oriented, kind of situating yourself into the thing that you're doing. And then there's kind of the process of really digging in and being consistent and getting to that place where you can maybe practice the exercises once you've already learned how to do them, right? Because we can talk about making sure it's the right programming, the right exercise for you, but then it's also a matter of doing those exercises correctly to really reap the full benefit. So you have to give your instructor a little bit of time to get to know your body, and then you also have to give yourself time to learn the movements, learn the exercises, and really develop that skill. Okay? And then the last thing that I want to share with you guys is just a few ideas about when Pilates is not the right choice, right? And really the main thing that comes to mind here is if you're really struggling with a very acute injury, if you haven't gone to the doctor, if you maybe need surgery, if you maybe need imaging, something like that, is when your Pilates instructor is not going to be the person to turn to, and you're really going to want to go see a doctor and go through kind of that more official medical process before engaging in something like strength training or Pilates. So I hope this gives you a lot of ideas about how to help yourself when you're struggling with with knee pain, or if it's a loved one that is struggling with knee pain, then maybe this will spur you into investigating Pilates and see if that is a good fit. I'm always accepting new clients. I have a few openings currently in my schedule, and I offer free consultations, so it's really no strings attached. I offer that as a way for you and me to just have a nice conversation about kind of what your goals are, what you're struggling with, and see if we're a good fit. So you'll see a link to that below, so don't feel shy to check that out and share this with somebody that might need it. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.